Welcome into another edition of the Holt Naylor Show. On the other side of the break, Raheim Jeter, probably the future of the East Carolina Pirates at the quarterback position. A lot of people haven't heard from him, been asking for him. We got him. Hope you enjoy the show. If not, as always,
That's too damn bad!
Holt Naylor turns, and Holt will take off and run himself. He's at the 40-yard line. Holt Naylor's to the 30. Look at him go! 20, 10, 5, touchdown Pirates!
There's local politics, bud.
It's showtime!
let's go. Welcome back in. Raheim, welcome to the show, brother. We've talked about you a bunch, just obviously with the program. And you're QB, we got to, man. So welcome to the show, dude.
Oh, what's up, bro? I appreciate you having me on here, man. It's an honor.
Let's go, man. So just update us. You know, I know obviously spring ball just finished. You're in your third year of the program. Just kind of update us on where you are, where the team is. And yeah, man, let's get to it.
I feel like I've come a long way, especially from my freshman year. I came in early here, so just kind of getting thrown into that. As a freshman, it was kind of tough. You know, you kind of went through the same thing too, so you definitely know. But
for sure.
I feel like now I'm in a way better spot. You know, I've been developing on and off the field, and I feel like as a team, we're becoming so much closer and just so much better overall.
You talked about like your development and stuff. And I remember when you first got there, like talking with some coaches and stuff. And like the first thing they said was like, you had all the intangibles, you just got to put it together. And it's going to take, you know, a year or two, maybe 3 in this instance to really do it. But they really believed in you. And even I talked to Coach Harold this morning about you when I was just talking to him about you coming on the pod. And he kind of said the same thing. He was like, he's finally putting it all together. We love everything that he's doing. Like, so you've left a good impression, and obviously you've had the size the whole time. You've had the arm strength. You just had to put it together.
Yeah.
Talk about your experience in JDB's offense, because it's a different style offense. Obviously, you're with Coach K, our guy, for at least 1 year. And just talk about, though, going from Coach K to JDB. Like, obviously, it's not ideal to have 2 offensive coordinators your first 2 years of college football. But at the same time, I had 2 offense coordinators. Like, I definitely understand where you're coming from. But, like, just talk about that experience going from one offense, learning it, like you said, as a freshman, all the way to a whole nother offense, you know, JDB.
I feel like when I first came in, you know, my freshman year with Coach K, it was so, like I was just so thrown into it, and it was so much, like, you know, with that offense, it was so big, and it was so, like, I feel like it's more of, like, a pro-style NFL-type offense. Like, it was a lot put on the quarterback position to where we had this check, we might have alert.
Yeah.
Or, you know how it is. But with JDB, it's just so much simpler. Like, we might have 1-word play call, 2-word play call, and it's just fast. So I feel like it's less thinking, and we can just go out there and play really fast how he wants it.
Enjoy it, brother, because if you want to play pro ball, you're about to have like 50-word plays.
Oh, yeah.
It is insane. Dude, it's crazy. The helmet mic, obviously, you didn't have it your first year, did you?
No, I don't think we had it my freshman year, no.
So how is that? Obviously, you haven't gotten in, or you have gotten into games, but not like in huge situations yet. But how is it even during practice? Like, how does that change from like talking to the OC, you know, face to face, or getting a signal in, to just hearing it in your ear and going fast?
I mean, it's great because from the OC's perspective, he's seeing things and he's calling plays for certain reasons that we might not know in the moment. But with the mic, he can come in and tell us like exactly what he's thinking on this play call, what we might need to be looking at. So it's definitely a huge advantage for us.
No, for sure, dude. That was the first thing. Like, my last year, obviously, we didn't have the helmet mic, and then I got to the NFL. And you're talking like the long play calls and stuff. And I'm sitting there like about to walk in the huddle. And I'm like, it'd be like Trey Wright, 96 Can, 17 Willie.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'd be like, and I'm in my head, I'm like, all right, I'm trying to remember the play call, but I also got to remember why I'm canning it. And I'm like, oh crap. And then he'd be like, all right, check to the 3. And I'm like, oh, thank God I have a headset right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's just different. Kane, what do you have for him?
Yeah, Raheim, you're kind of an old guy now, even though a young guy still in the roster. But you're a guy who stayed at ECU your third year and the new world of transfer portal. And I think a lot of people, when they think of Raheim Jeter, it's like, 1, when is his time going to be? But 2, you know, what's making him stick at ECU during this, you know, transfer portal era? What's so special about ECU for you?
I mean, I just love Greenville. I love Pirate Nation. Like, I decommitted from a Power 5 school, Power 4 now, a Power 4 school to come here. And I just fell in love with Greenville really from like my first visit here, just getting with the coaching staff. And then once I actually got here and got in the locker room, I mean, it's just like Holton and the guys that have been here, y'all know, like, it's different to be a Pirate.
For sure, dude. Kane, you got anything else, or is it my turn?
Nah, no doubt. I felt like the same way. I could have left many times myself, but it's something about Greenville, something about the locker room being a Pirate that makes you want to stay here. When me and Holt were coming up, we had a lot of older guys around us as quarterbacks. When I first came in, we had Gardner Minshew, Thomas Sirk. Just curious, who have you looked at to, maybe outside the quarterback room, maybe inside the quarterback room in your younger years as kind of a mentor?
Can you say it again? I couldn't hear you. It kind of went out.
Yeah, no worries. Who have you looked to inside the quarterback room and outside the quarterback room, maybe even as a mentor, in your early years at ECU?
Well, definitely coming in my freshman year, I had Mason and Flynn who had been here for a while, behind Holton. And those guys, they really taught me a lot what it means to really be like a collegiate athlete for real. Like, especially coming from high school, it was such a different change coming into college. So those guys, they definitely helped me out. And then now, I have Caden. He's great. He's a great mentor. Any questions I have, anything, he's right there for me.
How is obviously your relationship with Caden, and you just kind of talked about it a little bit, so we'll get into that a little bit later. But like your relationship with JDB, though, I think, did you know him before he got here? Because you were with Graham Harrell, or getting recruited by Graham Harrell, who he's close with. Is that how the connection happened?
No, I didn't know JDB at all until he pretty much took the job. I knew Coach Harrell because he was at West Virginia.
Yeah.
But nothing really with JDB.
So how was that first year of like learning that offense, and then also you go from Coach K, who was like an older guy, still great guy, we all love him, to JDB, who's like a younger guy, more energetic, like up-tempo offense. Like, how was that transition for you? Not just like schematically, but just like as a coach in general in the same room.
I mean, it was different because, like you said, just Coach K, he kind of got like a different aura. He's more laid, And then JDB, he's kind of like, he in your face. He got a whole bunch of energy. Like, so it was definitely different. But I mean, just adapting to it, because like it's a business here. So you're going to have different coaches, different players, just different things. So just adapting to it. And JDB, he's been great. He brings that fire to the offensive room every day.
Wish I could have played for him. Although I do love Donnie. I'm not saying it in the bad way, but that offense seems awesome. You talked about like adapting, and last year, like obviously Coach Houston gets fired. You got recruited by Coach Houston. I played for Coach Houston. Caden played for Coach Houston, and Coach Harrell stays and kind of ends up winning and stuff. So the team adapted really well. And a lot of times the people look at the starting quarterback at the time was Caden/Jake. They were going back and forth, but it's really any quarterback. If you're in the quarterback position, you're in a position of leadership, and that obviously now, whether you're the starter or not. So how intentional were you? And maybe not even intentional is maybe not the right word, but like, how was the locker room vibes for you? Because like, I know sometimes as the backup, now, myself being a backup position, a lot of more guys will come to you with more complaints than they will like with the starter. So like, how was that for you, and like kind of holding a leadership role in a position where like, coaching changes are happening, you don't know what the future's holding? Like, how was that for you?
I mean, it was kind of hard at first, especially being kind of still a young guy. I really didn't feel like I had earned my stripes with the team as much. Like I could be a leader guy, but like you said, when those guys are coming to you with whether it's complaints or suggestions or just their feelings, I mean, just being there for those guys and talking with those guys, it brings you closer. You bond to where those guys know, hey, I can trust this guy. I can lean on him. Like, this is somebody who can lead us.
No, dude, 100%. I think that's the one thing I've noticed about pro ball is like the difference between in pro ball, you don't get that like off season together. Like the stuff y'all are going through now or about to a summer in the years ahead of time. Like in pro ball, like a team, you just get a team together and they play, and like you have to earn their trust through off the field stuff the whole time you have. And I think something that I would say to you, and maybe you don't even notice now, it sounds like you do, is like the next 3 years when you're eventually the starting quarterback at ECU, like the guys who you're playing with are going to look back at the time and be like, yeah, well, I knew how he was as a backup and he's been the same guy ever since. So like, that's something I would say to you is just like, be very intentional about these years, about these practices, because in the long run, those are going to be the ones that look back and be like, you know what, he was the same guy. And that's what you want to happen, because that's how you build trust, which is what you were just talking about.
Oh, yeah, and I remember even with Coach K, I mean, after you left, it was kind of different because you came in and kind of started your freshman year. But I remember Coach K telling me, like, guys looked at you from day one as Holton's a hard worker. He's the hardest worker on the team. He's going to lead. He's going to be that guy that everybody wants to look up to. So that's definitely something that I've always carried with me in my time here.
For sure, dude. Got to be. Caden, what do you got?
If you ever want to know who Holton looked up to, he's right here. So
for real.
Okay, then.
For real. Dude, Caden was Caden was a walk-on quarterback, and when I first got there, like summer conditioning, I don't know what y'all's conditioning test is now. I knew what it was with Big John. Caden would whip my ass in conditioning, and I was like, bro, I can't be the starting quarterback and be losing this. And I never caught him, I don't think. But it would be like me and him in the top two, like by like a mile every single time. Yeah. But for real, so Caden, shout out to you.
I had to beat you at something. As the season's coming up, as a backup myself, all 4 years I played at ECU, I always tried to find a role. My role obviously was a signal caller. How do you find your role during the season outside of spring and the summer and staying involved in the game plan during the season?
I pretty much just try to be myself. I bring myself to the table, and I think that that's something that the coaches and the guys that they like, just me being me. If I need to do something for the team, I'm willing to do it. Like last year, as soon as Coach Harrell took the job, literally the first practice we had, he came up to me and said he wanted to get me out on field goal, like just to get me out there. And I told him, let's do it. So literally the games that Coach Harrell was the interim, I think every game I was on field goal. So
let's go.
Just doing whatever I really can to help the team out.
Were you holding field goals or?
Say it again.
Were you the holder out there?
Nah, last year I was a wing, and then this year they kind of started to put me to a holder.
Let's go, dude. I remember seeing you out there. And Caden, you must have been drunk because we've literally had a conversation about it. But like, I remember seeing it out there, and I'm like, is that the same number 2 out there? Like the wing and field goal? Let's go, dude. I respect that, honestly, because like special teams in general is like humbling. Yeah. But being a quarterback on special teams, not as a holder, is very humbling. So respect to you. And like I said, guys will notice that too, man. One thing that we want to bring up, and I kind of want to give you some advice on it, was Mike Wright just obviously committed here. They're bringing in an older guy. To kind of just compete in the quarterback room and stuff like that. Like, what were the conversations? You don't got to get into too detail. I know how it is, but like the coaches, I'd assume, talked to you before they brought him in. And if so, like, how are you feeling about that situation?
I mean, since day one, literally our first meeting with JDB, he told us he wants the most competition possible in the room. So that's just something that I'm expecting, and I want to be a pro football player one day. So when you're in the pros and when you're in collegiate football even now, like it's gonna be a lot of competition, and that's just part of the game, so I'm here for it.
I love it, dude. One thing I will say, and like I think that situation only, and I talked to Caden about it kind of last podcast and off air too, is like that situation of bringing in Mike, and I know Mike personally, I was with him at the Manning Passing Academy my senior year. That situation only benefits you. You're behind Caden right now, who's obviously, like you said, a good teammate and doing everything the right way from everything we've heard and talked to him about. So you get to see him, and then you get someone. Mike has started at bigger schools, and he understands what it takes to be a starter, not just this level but other levels too. Like, he's only here 1 year, so like in my opinion, this benefits you because it just gives you another set of eyes on how to do things, a guy to pick your brain on. So learn as much as you can from him, compete with them as much as you possibly can. But one thing, just advice to you, is like, don't take that in a negative way. That's just, like you said, it's competition for one. There's always going to be competition in the pros, which, one day you'll get there. And then it's just another guy for you to pick from. And that's something Caden earlier said that I had older guys to look up to. Other than Caden, I had like none. Like when I got there, I was competing with a guy that was 1 year older than me, and we were competing. We weren't really boys, and he'd never started before. I was there with Gardner Minshew for like 6 months.
Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't have an older guy to look up to. Whereas and I didn't have years to sit and to like learn the system.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm having now in pro ball, where I'm like, dude, whenever I do get my chance, I'm going to be way more prepared than I was like in college. If you just got thrown in there, like it worked out for me. But that was because Coach Houston was like very patient with me, and because we didn't have many other options, to be honest.
Yeah.
So just learn from those guys and know that like take any rep you get as valuable as possible, because eventually like you're going to get into a game and be like, oh, it's not that much different. Like I know I'm ranting right now, but I remember like during camp, you always anticipate the first game, even if you're the starter. Like the first game, you always get a little jitters because you're like, how will it feel and stuff, and like. Every single year, I remember going out there. I was starter for 5 years. I remember going out there the first game and like, oh, this is exactly like practice. So like, you have the benefit of having 3 years, 2-3 years of practicing before going out there, to where like, and learning from guys. So when you do go out there, dude, it's going to go so slow and you're going to be so prepared. So just like take advantage of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got to. Definitely.
For sure. Caden, what do you got?
Learn how to hold. Until your time comes, learn how to hold. That's how I got my playing time. I learned how to hold. So if you ever need any lessons, I got you, man.
Oh yeah, we definitely go after. I'm gonna need some of them lessons.
Caden, anything else?
No, that's all I got, man. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, Raheim, I appreciate it, man. We, obviously. Wait a second. I actually want to talk about some of your goals. What are your goals? Obviously, you said you want to play pro football and you want to do that. Just tell ECU fans, like I said, it's one of their first times hearing from you. So just tell, what are your goals on, off the field? What do you like to do? That type of thing.
Definitely want to graduate. I'm looking to graduate next December, which would be a semester early.
Let's go.
Do that, and then I want to go into law school, hopefully be a lawyer.
Oh my gosh. The heck?
You weren't expecting that?
No, what makes you want to do that?
I really don't know. One of my closest friends back home, his dad was a lawyer. So I guess kind of just being around him and seeing the lifestyle that they were able to live off their lawyer money kind of just made me want to do it.
No, for sure. You need to be trying to get that NIL money right now. I'm trying to be like y'all. I had nothing back when we played.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I need to call Luke right now and tell him, hey, they balled y'all.
No, for sure, dude. Hey, we'll appreciate it. Anything you ever need, reach out to us. We're here for you. We're pulling for you, dude. We were at the I know we'll let you go, but we were at the last scrimmage last year, and me and Kate were in the box, and you were cooking. It was the last scrimmage of camp, so we know what you're capable of. We saw it, so we're excited for you, man. Anything we can do, just let us know.
Oh yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for having me on the show, y'all. Keep doing y'all thing, man. I'm tuned in.
Let's go. See you, brother.
All right, bro. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
All right.
That interview in this podcast is brought to you by Anson Belt. Over 10,000 combinations of micro-adjustable holeless belts. Look, you've heard the mix and match and everything. We got a Father's Day special coming up. Starting June 1st, we're going to post on our social media at Holt Ayler Show, and I'm sure they will too, every Anson Belt social media as well. It's going to be buy 2 complete sets, get a third one for free. We're going to post all the details and really start promoting it next week. Look, my dad is obsessed with it. Caden's dad's obsessed with it. Your dad will be obsessed with it too. It's a great deal. It's a great belt. There's no reason. Look, I love giving gifts. I hate shopping for gifts. So listen to the boys. Just go ahead. We're telling you what to do. Just go get an Anson belt for Father's Day. Your dad will love it. He'll wear it forever. And look, down the road, he's going to ask for more. There you go. Those are more gift opportunities. Caden, it's a no-brainer.
What's great about this deal is, let's say you have a grandfather and a father still. You get both gifts, and you get one for yourself. Let's just say you have a dad left, or you just have a grandfather left. You give dad one, you get 2. You give dad 2, you get 1. Look at it like that. It's the deal of the century this Father's Day.
That's a little selfish, Caden. We think we should get all the gifts. We should box them up and give them all together. But you know what? If you're trying to take more belts for yourself than your father on Father's Day, respect to you. Hats off to you.
Hey, some people got to win some ways.
Kate, what did you think of the interview? I really enjoyed it. I've talked to him off air, a couple times, and I've heard only good things about him. That was kind of the first time we've talked, heard him dude, as quarterback, you got to be good with the media. And we're not like the media, but we are some sort of an interview that is going to be published to the public. So what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I liked Raheim. I've never talked to Raheim Jeter before. I think everyone in ECU, if you follow football, you know the name. You just haven't really seen, what he is yet. So it's good to get to know him. I think a lot of people are expecting him in a bigger role this year. He might be still. But right now, I think everyone's looking at him as a third stringer. But he came with such a great mindset, great attitude, that I think whenever his time comes, if it's this year or next year or maybe a couple of years down the line, he's going to be the guy that you can totally trust. Totally mentally, and I think physically as well. We've seen him, like you mentioned before, last year during last scrimmage of the fall camp, and he looked like he had it. But like Raheim said, one thing the coaches want to see from him is him put it all together. And I think once you see him put it all together, we've seen flashes, especially if you've been to a practice, that you got something special brewing in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I'm not going to sit here and say he's the automatic 3 going into this year. I think he could be the 2 very easily too. And I think that's what's good about JDB and Coach Harrell's. They're at least going to let him compete. He's been in the system. He earns it. But like I told him, Mike Wright being there doesn't negatively affect him. Like, he's still going to get his shot. He's still, in my opinion, he's probably the first up when it comes to like the quarterback in waiting. Obviously, we have Cole Hodges and a couple other young guys, that are first-year guys this year. But Raheim's been there. We've seen him. It seems like he's the quarterback in waiting with Caton Hauser, being the guy for the next year or two. So it's exciting when you have someone who's stuck around. Like, we asked him and he just said, look, I love Greenville. Like, that's just, I love the people. I love the culture. I decommitted from a P4 school and I came here. And to see him stick it out and knowing he has the intangibles, he's a big kid. He even freaking goes out there and plays special teams. Like, he seems like a selfless kid. So I'm excited to have someone in the program like that who's committed, that literally it could work out for him to be the next like quarterback in waiting. ECU hasn't had that in a really long time. A quarterback who has been there multiple years as a backup and then stepped in and been the role for a couple years and have a couple years left. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, I think a big thing too is he has a lot of 2 really good quarterbacks to look up to, learn from, learn their tendencies, learn how they study film. That a lot of people just don't get. I know you mentioned you didn't have it, but I think, if he really, looks at this as a bright experience, good experience, positive experience for him, when it's his time, or maybe, 2 people go down this year, hopefully not, but he has the tangibilities. So use the experience of learning off guys with experience and run with it.
Patience is huge, dude. I didn't know that until I got to pro ball. And then it's like, dude, you got to be patient in a lot of situations. But I will say that, like, like I just said, is like, if I couldn't imagine how much different my career would have been if I had 2 years to sit and learn behind someone who was like a successful starter. Like, I literally never know how that's like. Now, I will say in pro ball, I feel like I've had the chance to learn and be patient and get reps in practice and I feel like when I go in there, whenever I will go in there, like, I feel like I'm going to be super successful because I've seen a million different looks and, college looks obviously, but pro ball too.
Speaking of pro ball, we might have talked about it on different shows we were on, but we haven't talked about it yet. Me and you, first professional, I would say touchdown, right? It's a running touchdown, so it's the first official passing. I guess you don't really count. Plus, you had that in Seattle anyways. But what a time. We told the story with separate people. We never talked about it with each other.
I knew you were coming to the game. It was literally my first. I never scored a UFL touchdown. It just happened, and I knew where your seat was going to be in the stands. And I was like, you know what, Kate, if you come to the game and we run this T-bone set, thanks for just continuing to show the ball. I love it there. You're so proud. I was like, if we show this T-bone set, I'm going to pull it. The whole time I was like, I'm just going to pull it. I'm going to stucker it. I'm pulling it, and we're going to go. I'm going to throw you the ball in the stands because there will be no one there. So the threat of me doing that was, for one, I'm not supposed to do that. Number two, it would be blind faith that the D-end is not going to tackle me and is not expecting me to pull it. And number three, that my coaches wouldn't kill me. And number four, that it'd be the perfect positioning and everything would have to happen perfectly. So we get down there. We're like 4 yards away. We call it. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. But then I look out there and they're in a bear front. So the D-end's super, super wide. I'm like, I can't pull it. This sucks, man. I'm going to have to. I even looked up to you. I was so disappointed. And I handed off, and I thought we scored. So I'm like happy, but also I'm like, dang it, man. That was the one chance. We talked about it all week. We get to the half-yard line, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. I got to pull it. This is the football guys telling me I got to pull it. So then again, they line up. We call it same exact play. I look out there and the DN's out there again. I'm like, crap. So I say, we're good, which means we're just going to run it to the right. I'm like, dang it. And then I look, and the linebackers are all looking to the right. They're not looking at me. So I pause for a second, and I go, oh, shoot. I go, easy. And I'm not going to say what we call it, but I call a QB sneak. I'm like, all I got to do is take the ball, lean it over because no one's looking, so they're not going to hit it from me. That's what I do. We call a touchdown, grab the ball, yeet it up to Caden. Everything goes as planned except Caden almost fumbles the football.
I caught the ball. That's all that matters. I got the ball, and I think I convinced you to finally pull the QB sneak. I didn't want you to QB sneak it all year. I don't think you would have done it if I wasn't there. Let's be real there.
Hey, Caden, this episode drops tomorrow. Hey, we didn't even talk about it. I'm on a touchdown streak right now.
You are.
I threw a touchdown last week in Memphis.
I know. I was about to get right to that. I was about to be like, if you would have audibled your T-bone set all year, you might lead the league in rushing if you just
maybe so
every time you got in there.
Maybe so. But hey, this week, are we going to go for 3 in a row?
Hey, you made it if you look at the sports books and it has Ayler's anytime touchdown. That's what we'll do.
Is it up there?
I haven't looked, but if you're up there, I'm not going to take it, but it would be sick if it was up there finally.
That would be sick.
Because before the the DC game, I was like, is there any odds? No odds, but it's whatever.
Yeah, they're like, this guy's never scored. He's not worth it. But now 2 in a row. We got to be up there now.
But what I did forget is I forgot you had that passing touchdown Seattle. So
yeah, everyone's tweeting like, this is the first career. I'm like, no, it's not.
Well, I was like, first career rushing touchdown last week, first career passing touchdown this week. I know you want to count the Seattle one, but I think people just forgot about it. 2 years ago? So then some guy commented on the post, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to act like I didn't see that and just keep going with life.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I personally first UFO, yes. I think personally it took a long time to get to both. I think the hard work to get on a NFL team and play in the preseason is a lot harder than people think. I'm not saying it's not hard in the UFL because it took me a year and a half to have to score my first UFL touchdown. So they're both as rewarding, but I think I view personally, like when my career is done with, I will look back. And I think we were texting about this, that like I would compare 5 UFL touchdowns to 1 NFL preseason touchdown, in my opinion. Like when I look back on my career.
So all you need is 3 more UFL touchdowns.
Yes. I agree. Yes, so that's where we're at. And that's not a knock on the UFL. I just think like I am planning on having a really good career in the UFL and hopefully the NFL one day if I get to play in the UFL. But I think like, say I start next year, like I would consider 5 UFL touchdowns equals 1 preseason NFL touchdown.
I would agree to that. I could see how you could compare that right there. Hopefully you get that start. So did you just confirm you're going back to UFL next year? Well,
probably, but we'll see. It all has to fall in place. I'm not going to go be a backup for the 3rd year in a row. I'm going to say that.
We got a half confirmation right there.
Yeah.
But did you see? Let's flip back to ECU football. Did you see the odds came out for the American this year? What to win the American Conference is?
I did not. In Texas, gambling's not legal. I'm not doing it during the UFL, so I did not. What is it?
It's plus 2,000 odds, and I know we're gonna.
I like that.
I know $100 will win you $2,000, and I know we're gonna do the AAC breakdown. I started doing a little head start personally with myself. Looking at the AAC breakdown, let me just tell you right now, breaking down the quarterback position, we'll save that for the summer to dive into that. I think we're in a really good shape, and I think if we can get past the midweek hurdles of that Army, which I don't think is going to be as strong this year, Tulane, which I don't think is going to be as strong this year, I think the Pirates have a good shot at winning anywhere from 8 to 9 games again.
I like it. I mean, people called us crazy last year when we said 8 to 9 games. That's exactly what they won. So we'll see, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to do the breakdown in July. That'll be really fun. That'll kind of kick off football season July and August with the film breakdowns, and we'll kind of go into that. All right, Caden, past football now. I want to talk about my trip to Indianapolis, okay? and then we'll go. So obviously I'm a Knicks fan. Knicks are making a run right now. We're down 3-1. You know what? Okay. You know what? We're in the Eastern Finals, first time in my lifetime. It's been a blast. So I posted on my podcast that I booked a trip to Indianapolis for Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals before the Knicks made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's how much faith I had in them. They made it. Grace, my fiance, decides she wants to come too, that she can come. We have a lot of wedding stuff, but she got it done early. So I was like, you know what? So I'm going to sell my ticket. I bought 2 other tickets. 10th row. So we're 10th row of the Knicks game. I'm really excited about it. It's in Indiana. So we land at like 10 a.m. And I'm like, you know what, Grace? Like the Indy 500 is the same day. And that is on like people's sports bucket list. And I knew that. I wasn't on my bucket list, but I was like, you know what? We landed at 10. The race was from like 12 to 4-ish. You know, obviously depending on cautions and stuff. So I was like, we can do both. Let's do it. So let's go. So I was like, you know what? Well, we're going to go straight from the race to the game, so we got to wear our Knicks gear. And I'm thinking like there's not gonna be that many Pacers fans. These are racing fans. So me and Grace go, and poor Grace is wearing the jersey too. We both have our Knicks jersey on. We show up, we're the only one in Knicks jersey. Everyone is wearing Pacer stuff, and we get hounded. I mean, booed everywhere we go. People are like, F you, F New York. I mean, anything you could hear. And see, I was good with it. I didn't mind it at all. I love a good chirping. And you could tell these people were soft. I about said Indians, but they're from Indiana. I don't know what you call an Indianian. So you could tell. And Grace was like, I was like, Grace, are you good? And she's like, yeah, I'm good as long as you are. I was like, yeah, we're not in Philly. Like Philly, I'd be a little nervous. New York, I'd be a little nervous. Boston, probably. But Indiana, no. These people are soft. They did heckle us a bunch, which I appreciated. So we have a video. I believe if we can get this to work, we have a video of us getting heckled. Talk back a little bit. It was a good time. So cue the video. I love it. I mean, so we're walking through, and also one thing I did not realize, Caden, was there's 350,000 people at this race. It's the biggest sporting event in the world. So these sections, we're getting booed by whole sections of like 50,000 people, and it was awesome. I loved every second of it. So then we go to the game, we experience the game, we get there early, we get to see the players, and guess what? We're down by 20, so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, dude, what am I doing here? You know how much money I just spent to sit 10th row behind the Knicks bench in the Eastern Conference Finals? We come back. I do this. I know I got the mic right now. This is what I do. I'm looking at the fans. What happened? What happened? They choked. They choked. Oh, great moment. I can't wait. I can't say good things about it. So then after the game, TNT is there. I don't know if we have a video of that. If we do, cue it, and I'll stop talking. But TNT is there, you know, NBA countdown. We're right behind them, and all the Knicks fans are like, go New York, go New York, go. Oh, dude.
Are you in that?
Oh, absolutely. Me and Grace were going ham in that. Like,
go New York, go New York.
Hey, go New York, go New York, go. I'll send you the video. I thought we had it now. We'll post it on our page. But yeah, dude, it was I will say it was the most fun sporting event day I've ever had, like as a fan, 100%.
Well, I'm glad you finally got to experience Eastern Finals in your 25 years of life. And I'm glad you got to see a victory with your Knicks. It looks like they're going to lose probably 4-1 in the series. Whoa. But I'm glad to see you had the one win they had in the finals. I know they probably will lose the next game. It kind of sounded a lot like my UFL game experience. We can kind of correlate those. Everyone's booing me in my Arlington Renegades blue I'm wearing right now. It just sounds like two similar stories, so I'm glad we put so close together.
It does, man. It does, bud. Hey, big news. This is the last remote podcast. I will be in Greenville next week, Caden. Can't wait to see you, bud. Virtual fist bump.
I feel like the virtual podcast, I feel like we're strangers. I feel like we never conquered these. But next week, I can promise everyone, good shows are coming back, and even bigger guests are coming. I know you got some big stuff lined up, and so I'm excited for that. And also excited to see a Cinderella run from ECU baseball. Hopefully we see that, and we can talk about it next week as well.
I hope so. I'll see you, brother.
See ya.